Hi guys, Ken Tamplin from Ken Tamplin Vocal Academy, and I am back again. Today's subject is going to be, I'm going to say by popular request, and that is what do I do with mucus on my vocal cords? What do I do and how do I take care of myself, or is there anything that I can do to get rid of the mucus on my vocal cords? And the answer is yes. Absolutely there is. There's a lot of things that we can do, and you don't have to do all of these things, but I'm going to give you a lot of different choices of things that you can try and do. Everybody's body is different, everybody's immune system is different, but there are certainly things that we can do. Now, with that said, I want to say that there's lots of different schools of thought on, I should just go take antibiotics, or I should do this other thing over here. When you hear what I have to say, that might change your mind, hopefully, and get you on a track to good health. So the first thing is, what do you eat? Let me say it again. What do you eat? Do you eat Taco Bell? Do you eat In-N-Out Burger? Do you eat White Castle Burger? Do you eat crappy fast food? Do you do things for your body that are healthy? Do you exercise? There was an old saying that, doctor, I don't have time to exercise an hour a day. Well, what do I do? And the doctor's response is, well, if you don't have time to exercise an hour a day, plan on being dead an hour a day. In other words, if eventually you don't do that, you'll die young, and the hour that you should have spent could have prolonged your life and given you an even better quality of life to be able to do what you love. So, which is, in this case, singing for me and you, hopefully. So, we have this mucus on the cord. Well, what do we do? I actually went through a time where I had chronic sinusitis, which is sinus infections. I'll talk about that in a second, and I also want to relate this to something that happened to my son. But I was being fed antibiotic after antibiotic after antibiotic, and it wasn't working. And I researched and just did everything I could, and I have all this stuff here. You can't see it maybe in the camera, but I'm going to show you what it is that I did to get better. Now, for me, I was doing, 60 cities, 70 cities, 80 cities, 6, 7, 8 months or whatever it was. And if I have a show go down, it cost me, in some cases, tens of thousands of dollars. It was a lot of money. If I couldn't sing a show and I had to cancel and reschedule, So I was on the quest, maybe even more so just to stay on top of the game, to understand how I can keep myself healthy rather than truly wanting to be healthy. Now I want to be healthy. Now again, I don't mind saying this one more time, I'll be 49 in December 11th. So I've been doing this a long time. I've been singing professionally since I was 19 years old. I've got 40 albums out. I don't want to go look through my credits. I'm not here to brag about stuff. But I want to talk, I say that because I've road tested stuff, and I want you to understand this. So mucus on the cord, let's get straight to it. What is mucus? What is it caused from? Why do we get it? Why do we have it? Well, could be lots of reasons, not the least of which is, the first is a bacterial infection. Or do we have something going on in our body, a bacteria in our body, that our body's trying to fight off? And so it creates mucus, and I don't want to go into all the detail of why it creates it, but we get mucus. Second could be, do we have, and again, there's lots of things here, but let's just go straight to this. Are we allergic to something, or do we have allergens, or what kind of allergies do we have, and where do they come from? So we're going to get to a couple of those things, not all of them, but a few, just to broach the subject and talk about it. So, but let's get to the first thing, and that is that I have about, over now, 1,500. Let me say it again, 1,500 active students. Go to my website, check me out on this, go to the forums, active. I'm not talking about people that have bought the program, that's in the thousands of thousands. I'm talking about active people that I work with. I can't teach 1,500 people all at the same time, but you get the point. And I've run into the most bizarre thing, and that's that not just in America, and not just throughout Europe, but throughout most of the known Western world, and even in some East Bloc places, people are getting sick all over the place. What is that from? And how do we countermand that, or how do we deal with it? Well, you're going to think I'm weird, but I actually think some of this, or maybe a good majority of it, is because of chemtrails, chemical trail from aircraft. I don't care if you think I'm nuts, look up chemtrails on YouTube. You decide for yourself if you think it's worthy. Doesn't even matter. That's not why I'm talking about this, but it's a belief that I have. There's other things too. I do believe that we're building strains of bacteria that are resistant to, and again, an overdose of antibiotics that I want to talk about, that I think that we need to back this off and let our bodies heal themselves. There's a word called teleonomic, or our bodies are self-healing. We want to be self-healing. We don't want something else to do our healing for us. However, we really do, because we live in an age where if we're sick, we can't get up. Oh, I need to see a doctor. I don't know what to do. Blah, blah, blah. Doctor, help me. You're the expert. Give me a pill that will make me better. Give me a panacea or a cure-all of something that's going to make me better. So we think that we did all these bad things, or things that were, our body didn't like, and then we're going to have this one little pill that's going to make us better. Kind of funny, because people think that's true about singing. Give me this one thing for singing that's going to make me better. Doesn't work that way. So we have to figure out what things are causing this first, and how do we deal with it? How do we reconcile this? So I'm going to go through some stuff. The very first thing, obviously, is mucus. Mucus on the cord. Mucus drips on the cord, and it makes the cord thick. And the cord has less resiliency. In fact, it even allows for a bad closure of the cord. So what happens is that we can't, not only can we not sing the notes and stuff that we want to sing, but we don't have the same stamina and same power and same resiliency and all this stuff. So how do we get rid of mucus on the cord? Well, there's certainly exercises we can do vocally. I am not here to sell you KTVA and exercises. There's lots of exercises we can do. Set that over here. I'm here to help you how to get rid of mucus on the cord. Nothing to do with KTVA, other than I am KTVA, and I want to show you how I've done it. If it can resonate with you, cool. If not, no worries, right? So from here, we're going to talk about how to get rid of mucus on the cord. Let's go. Okay, so we get mucus, I said, from different sources. One could be bacterial infection, or you could have allergies, and we're going to talk about that later. But I want to get to the bacterial part first. If it's bacterial, what is it that we can do to overcome a bacterial infection? Now, there's all these remedies I've got here. I own nothing. I have no affiliation whatsoever with these companies. But I've learned that there are certain companies that have good stuff and other ones that don't, and certain things that work, and there's all this information. It's like, what do you do? All right? I'm telling you what I've done for 30 years, dudes. Rock me on this. Check it out. I've checked out a lot of stuff to see what works and what doesn't. Do whatever's in your comfort zone and level, do what you got to do. But I'm telling you what's worked for me. First thing, the very first thing at the first sign of cold, not flu, but cold. Coughing, cold, I feel fluey. Zinc, nature's way. Good stuff. Suck on the lozenge. Don't chew it. Suck on it. Let it dissolve in your mouth. Let the enzymes in your mouth do this. It'll kind of taste a little metallic. Tastes pretty good, actually. Nothing bad, right? You can do this, every couple hours. You can do this up to 5 to 7 days. Don't do it more than that. The hypothalamus, which helps create and build an immune system, doesn't like things like this for long periods of time. So you just want to do it for 5 days, 7 days max, then stop. But it will, if you can get it early on, do it. Do it immediately. Now, by the way, I'm going to start with I like to take a pill, so I want to take a pill. I don't want to eat healthy. I'm starting kind of there, but I want to get you to the I want to eat healthy part in a second. But this rocks. Another thing that rocks, wellness formula. This stuff's great, especially on airplanes. Now you've seen airborne and all that, and that works good too, and that's because it has zinc in it and this other stuff that's in here. But this stuff works really good. This is it's called Source Naturals Wellness Formula. Look at it closely. It works great. At the first sign of cold, try it. Eat it. Go by the directions. It's totally healthy, good stuff, local food store, probably get it online, relatively cheap. which, by the way, relatively cheap. Think about this. How much is an antibiotic? Especially if you don't have insurance. A couple $100. If you have insurance, I don't know, 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks. What is this? 20, 10 bucks? 20 bucks? This is $5, right? So the very first couple things you can try are these kinds of things. Now, I mentioned the vitamin C earlier in another webinar and some other stuff that I did. Vitamin C is critical, and there's all kinds of different vitamin C's out there. But I want to talk about this. This stuff, rock star stuff. I'm telling you straight up, lipospheric vitamin C has over a 300% absorption rate than normal vitamin C. Good buffered vitamin C, that's fine too. This stuff is rock star. If you can't afford it, this is expensive. I'm not going to tell you it's not. I've got some other vitamin C here. The Mega Food Complex C, I'm going to tell you why Mega Food is good. Mega Food Complex C is also really good. Not nowhere near as good and strong as this stuff. This stuff is awesome because if it gives you a great bang for your buck. And there's other great buffered C's out there that you can also get a good bang for your buck. So let's go back. I want to go back one more time. First, we talked about digestion. Now, when we're talking about digestion, hopefully I brought it out here. I have a lot of stuff here. Digestive enzymes. There it is. Cool. If you have trouble digesting things, Now is a great company. I don't believe in all of their stuff because they put some fillers and some stuff, but for the most part, they're really clean. I'm going to talk about clean vitamins like this one. It's clean. I'll explain what that means in a minute. They don't have magnesium stearate, which is really bad for you, and some other stuff. The super enzymes help you digest stuff, but you got to be eating healthy stuff to be able to digest good stuff. So super enzyme by Now is awesome. It's really good if you need to help you digest some stuff and you feel like you're regurgitating and you're not getting the nutrients that you need. This will really help you. All right, let's continue. A good daily multi, Mega Food, same company. Why do I like Mega Food? There's good companies out there, lots of them. I have them up there. This one has no magnesium stearate and some other bad stuff in it, but it also doesn't have things like, and by the way, I'm not that this is bad, I just want you to understand this. When we drink ginseng tea or when we have ginseng in everything we do, we're hyping ourselves out. Everything's hyping our immune system out, right? We're hyping ourselves out. This is clean. It doesn't have ginseng in it. Ginseng's not bad. In fact, in many cases, in a lot of cases, it can be good for you. For me, I have some adrenal issues, so I don't take ginseng because I don't want to be hyped out all the time. So Mega Foods is great. So look on the labels or get just a good multi, but this is a good clean vitamin. Minerals, really important. I take arginine with minerals, colloidal minerals. This is really, really good. We don't get enough minerals in the soil and in the foods that we eat, even if we eat organic. And I'm going to talk about that in a second because all these vitamins actually come from organic. They're made up with organic substances. So, but this is really good. It's awesome. We need to replenish the minerals that we're not getting. If our digestion's working, if we're passing good stuff, and we're getting the nutrients that we need, this will really help us. So I recommend it. I'm going to hold it up to you. Hopefully you can see this. Or a good colloidal mineral supplement. This is awesome. Let's continue because. Okay, getting back to my son. So my son was born with meningitis, and the doctors immediately started stuffing him full of antibiotics. Now, thank God they did that. I don't blame them. Thank God we have Western medicine. So if it was a bacterial, it could have saved his life. Well, it was actually viral, and the viral part meant that it just stripped him of his immune system. Stripped him of his immune system. So then all of a sudden, every 3 or 4 months, he had these green runny noses, and coughing, and the guy, I felt so bad for the kid, I thought he was going to die. Now he's an incredibly healthy 17-year-old now, world-renowned sort of at his age level soccer player, but then was very, very, very scary. Well, I started thinking to myself, well, why do I resign myself to the Western medicine when I know myself different things that have worked for me on the road? So I thought I would try something just really gentle and easy. Echinacea and golden seal. So I gave him some echinacea and golden seal droppers at proportionately at his size and weight. And what, after 2 rounds of amoxicillin and this and that, all the different antibiotics that did nothing, his nose just kept running and they kept giving him more antibiotics, stripping him of his immune system. After 2 or 3 days of just simple echinacea and golden seal, boom, green runny nose went completely away. That was it. This came back 6, 7, 8 months later. Again, echinacea, golden seal, some chopped up garlic in his baby food and some other stuff. Bam, went away. Since my kids, all these years later, if they visited the doctor half of a dozen times over colds or flu, I'd be surprised. Really, they're 17 and 19. Half a dozen times, I'd be surprised. One, I think my daughter got strep throat in Costa Rica, which we think was plankton from the ocean, which is another subject for another day. And my son got some infection, I think from, I don't even remember what it was, but doesn't matter. But seldom, like never, right? All right, so big difference. Bacterial, viral. Viral, colloidal silver. Bacterial, zinc. The other stuff we mentioned over here, vitamin C's, all this other stuff, good elimination. This stuff, oregano, it's really good. Oregano, it's really good. If you have a bacterial infection or a sore throat or something, it's spicy. If you got esophagus problems or acid reflux problems, don't take it. It's spicy. It's really good. 2 to 3 drops under the tongue. This stuff rocks. Let me hold it up to you because it's called oregano, and I highly recommend it. I have no vested interest in this stuff. Something else, antiviral fungal fighter. This stuff also rocks. Grapeseed extract with some other stuff in it. Spray it under the tongue. It's by Danielle Ledon, L-E-D-O-N. Sorry, Danielle, just like the girl's name, L, axial circumflex or flex or hyphen, D-O-N. Danielle Ledon. This stuff rock. In fact, I'm going to do this right now. What's going to happen is when you take it, I'm good, I'm clean. If you have it under the tongue, it'll taste bitter. If it's clean, it means you don't have an infection. If it's bitter, you have an infection, and you can do this every couple hours. This stuff helps so much, just alone, amazing. Next thing, olive leaf. This stuff is so good for sore throats, so good. Now, by the way, strep throat is something completely different. If you think you have strep throat, that's actually an infection of the heart, go to your doctor, get an antibiotic. That's what antibiotics are for, not because we need them when we sneeze and we need an antibiotic. We need them when we're really sick. If you feel like you're really that sick, get an antibiotic. This stuff's really good if you can eclipse it or circumvent it off on the front side. Olive leaf extract. Seagate is the company, and this stuff is really good. Awesome. Next thing, we talked about echinacea and golden seal. It's made by the company called Zand. Get the organic stuff. Now they make a tincture you can put under your tongue. The throat spray is also really good. This stuff really rocks, so I highly recommend it. Zand, Z-A-N-D, throat spray, really good. And research this stuff online. Don't take my word for this. Research this stuff. Now, persistent sinus infections. But wait, actually, I wanted to say something before I get there. A couple things, actually. First thing is, we talked about sugars. Avoid sugar. If you're sick, just no wheat, no white pasta, no bread, no Cokes, for crying out loud. Caffeine strips away most of your vitamin C, so you're going to have to replenish the vitamin C. Do some smart things. If you don't know this, don't drink energy drinks and all that crap. It just strips away your immune system. Stevia, which is an herb, actually is a great sugar substitute. And there's, guava and some other things. Guava juice. You can use other substitutes. They'll taste weird at first, just for a minute, and then you get used to them, and then sugar tastes weird. So try stevia, right? Try this, because this will actually really help. Let's talk more about sugar in a second, because I'm going to get to yeast. So let's do that now. Yeast, this is interesting, because yeast builds up when we don't eliminate well, and you know what I mean by eliminate, and then we lose a lot of the good bacteria that's in our intestinal tract. So diflucan, now this is actually by prescription. Now, I'm not a doctor, talk to your doctor, but diflucan, and it's one of the only things I even have on the table here that's doctor prescribed. Diflucan gets rid of yeast. If you've ever had, ladies, if you ever had a yeast infection, you know what I'm talking about. Yeast builds up in candida, and I don't want to get candida applicants, I don't want to get into all that right now, but because of that, it inhibits the body's ability to create good probiotic, good bacteria that helps fight off the bad stuff during digestion. So if you take diflucan for a small period of time, get rid of it as much as you can, and then take a probiotic simultaneously, and then after, or if you've taken an antibiotic, which is the same thing that destroys your antibodies and destroys, puts yeast back there and gets it, take a probiotic, a good one, not the crap that sits on the shelf in the heat, the stuff that's refrigerated, the good stuff. Take this, it will help you with your digestive tract like you can't even imagine. Good stuff. All right, next thing, we talked about if you're just really bound up in the colon and you just got to get rid of it, super colon cleanse, it's Senna. It's a little harsh, but it works. Don't use it because you can get addicted to it for more than 3 or 4 or 5 days, but if you need to get rid of some stuff, whatever. The reason I want to talk about this is because of the digestion tract. If you do, God forbid, don't hate me for saying this, colonics. What's a colonic? If you, again, gross stuff, whatever. If you do your own organic coffee enema, and I say organic because you really want to stay organic with all this stuff. Do a coffee enema, terrible stuff. Do it 2 or 3 times a day. Get the elimination going. Get rid of the impurities. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. You've got to get rid of the bad stuff and bring in the good stuff so that your body can be teleonomic and heal itself. It's really important. This right here is a neti pot. You fill it with a little bit of warm water, good stuff. You want to use sea salt or pure salt and filtered water. You don't want tap water, you want filtered water. Very important. People have gotten amoebas in their brain because they didn't use filtered water. Filtered water and sea salt. And you put just a 1/4 teaspoon or 1/8 of a teaspoon in it, and you rinse. And you literally put, like this, and you plug it up and you let it rinse out one side of the nose like this, just gently, really gently. Don't overdo anything. And then once you're done with that, you rinse out the other side. And it rinses out, there are hairs in your nose that hold on to crap. Technical names, I'm sure, crap, and it actually releases that, and it will help release and get rid of your sinus infection. It's good stuff. I want to talk about some different things, some vitamin D3 and some other antioxidants that will really help you. I actually drink green tea. This is another great antioxidant. I like Yamamoto Yama. It's really good. It's cheap. It's organic. They do a great job. It's from Japan. Good stuff. Yamamoto Yama. Cheap, good, great green tea. Order online if you have to. It's cheap and it's good. You can mix it with ginger, and I'm going to talk about more of the organic food process things that will really help you even as much, if not more, than all these supplementals. But again, I did the supplementals first because a lot of people just want to take a pill and take a pill, and I'm going to finish that part of the pill thing in a second and then talk about that. But this stuff is really good. Put a little sprig of ginger in it. Ginger. Cut up some ginger. Make sure you get the skin off of it because that actually is bitter and weird. But and mix it with your green tea, and it's really good and soothing on the throat, and also builds up your antibodies. D drops, vitamin D. We are so deficient in vitamin D, I can't even tell you. Not just D, D3. Vitamin D3. These drops, 4,000 international units of good vitamin D3. Couple drops in a glass of water, you can't taste it. This will also help you like crazy good stuff. All right, spirulina, whatever, biolumina. This stuff rocks. It is organic. There's a great story behind it. Research biolumina on the internet. Like I said, don't buy it from me. I'm not selling product. I'm here to help you. I'm giving you life experiences. Do whatever you want to do with this information. It's up to you. This stuff is good stuff. What is bioluminescence, spirulina? It's blue algae. Algae from the ocean. Algae. No. Good stuff. Don't start out taking a teaspoon thinking you're going to be a rock star. Start with a quarter teaspoon because it eliminates impurities in the body. And we're going to talk more about that and metals in a second. But this stuff rocks. I can't recommend this enough. It's good stuff. Now, cell regeneration. More, you ready for this? Carlson Norwegian cod liver oil. Cod liver oil? My grandma gave me that. I thought I was going to throw up. No. This stuff you can't even taste. To get the lightly lemon taste version, high in EPA and DHA, if you do any reading at all on the internet of DHA, talk about cell regeneration, this stuff is the bomb. Use another one. There's lots of things. You can do it through nuts. There's omega-3, there's different omega oils. And there's a lot of recent information about 3, 6, 9, omega-3, 6, omega-9. This is the bomb. Trust me. You don't need all 3. You want one. And this is good stuff. It's cheap. Try it. Once a day. Quarter teaspoon, half teaspoon, 1 teaspoon. Good stuff. This will regenerate at the cellular level to get your body to be teleonomic, self-healing. That's what this does. We talked about what can we use as a substitute if we have allergies of dairy or gluten or peanuts or whatever. There's lots of things, but almond breeze is awesome. Almond breeze is really good for dairy. If you don't want, to drink cream or milk or this or that or cheese and all that stuff, this stuff is really good. Put it in your coffee, put it in your tea, try it in your milk and your cereal in the morning. But if you're eating cereal, you're probably eating other gluten products, which, are wheat-based products. And look this stuff up online. Don't take my word for this. Don't take my word for this. Look this stuff up online and you're going to see what I'm talking about. But this stuff is actually really good. So I mentioned that I had sinusitis and I dealt with some bronchial issues and some other things. The thing that helped me the most, and I really mean this, is juicing. Buy yourself a juicer. And you say, well, I can't afford a juicer. Well, that's interesting because you can afford a latte at Starbucks or whatever your favorite coffee place is. You can afford going to the movies. You can afford when the doctor says you got to go to the hospital or I'm going to prescribe this prescription for you. But you can't afford a juicer? You're kidding me, right? All right. Well, I bought a Champion juicer, I don't know, 25 years ago or something. I bought a big one, a good one, and it still lasts me. To this day, the thing rocks, right? You get sick, or you're starting to get sick, or you think you might be feeling a little sick. 5 organic carrots in the juicer. 5 carrots. Peel them, get rid of the crap on the outside. 5 organic carrots. A sprig of ginger. 1 sprig about this size of your thumbnail. Per serving, by the way. 1 sprig. Garlic. 1 clove of garlic. 1 good sized clove. Not a little tiny one. 1 good sized clove of garlic. Use 1 clove of garlic. Put that in the juicer. 1/4 of an onion. 1/4 of an onion. Good stuff. 1/4. Listen to me on this. Celery. 1 full, all organic. 1 full stick of celery. Put that in there. Juice that up. Do it once, twice, or even 3 times a day with a meal. Don't do it without a meal. It'll make you sick to your stomach. Eat a meal first or drink it with the meal. Don't chug it. Let it, your salivatory glands and triglycerides, not triglycerides, sorry, your glands, chew it up and dissolve it, right? By the way, glycerides are sugars, and we talked about that a minute ago. But let it, kind of like you're chewing your food, you know what I mean, with this, with the juice. The garlic itself, by the way, if you can stomach 2 cloves, try 2 cloves, because if you can stomach a whole 2 or even 3 cloves, if it burns, back it off, do whatever you got to do, half a clove, whatever is your tolerance level. Everyone's different. But this is nature's antibiotic. This will be the substitute for most of the antibiotics out there in a natural way, in a great, godly, cool, natural way. This will be your substitute. Now, I do this in conjunction with a lot of this other stuff. I don't necessarily only do this, but if I had to only do one thing or a couple things, Ken, what would you do? It would be the zinc, it would be the antiviral fungal fighter, I do the probiotic, oregano if I feel like my throat really sucks. If I have flu, it would be colloidal silver. If I had flu, that's different. If I'm taking vitamin C, the good guy. If I can't afford the good guy, I buy a good buffered C. Now makes a good buffered C, which is the same company I had here a minute ago, whereas now, where is it now? I don't know, it's here somewhere. Right here, sorry. This same company now, it's a very easy to see thing. They make a good buffered C. But I would do those things first. I would start with those things and just hammer it. And if you're going to do, like I said, airborne, or if you're going to do other things like the wellness formula, they're similar. They have the same kinds of things in them. So don't be discouraged with this. I do this every day religiously, no matter what. Good cell regeneration. We don't have this. Now, is this a substitute for eating right, getting good sleep, exercising, not smoking, not drinking too much booze, not drinking a bunch of caffeine, and all those things? No, it's no substitute. Those things, if you really want to keep yourself healthy, have to happen first. After that, and you start to feel sick or you feel like you need some help, you start implementing these other things. Now, things like this stuff here, the diflucan and whatnot, this is to get rid of, all of the excess. By the way, this has to be doctor prescribed, so don't just go out and do something. But if you're trying to get rid of yeast or a yeast infection or something, or candidus albicans in the stomach, this is awesome. But do it in conjunction with a probiotic. And I would take this every day. Every day. Take a good refrigerated, you know where it came from, probiotic, and it will help you. So I appreciate you guys joining me. I'm just trying to help you guys. Hopefully this makes sense to you, and until next time, thank you for joining me at KenTamplinVocalAcademy.com.